Hello and welcome everyone to another one of my mindful conversations where I connect with these powerful, inspiring women in the whole wide world. They have these beautiful messages, believe in the same thing I do, that we need to value ourselves, make self-care important, and really honor who you are. And you're going to love who I have today on Mindful Conversations. I'm Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, your host. Welcome, Jennifer. How are you today?
Hi, thank you, Tanya, so much for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Oh, and I'm so excited to share with our listeners about your project, overall who you are. And if you're wondering, how did I meet Jennifer? She is in this world of just really finding the women that have beautiful messages, and somehow in that beautiful world Jennifer and I connected, and I saw this diamond project that she had, and I'm going to let Jennifer tell you more about it. But I reached out to her, we connected, and I was honored to be part of Jennifer's diamond project. And it was so this feeling of, wow, it was so much fun. And I just felt so comfortable around Jennifer. And I said, look, Jennifer, I need to have you on my podcast because you have these values, these messages that every other woman needs to hear. So I'm not going to go on, Jennifer. The audience and listeners want to know from you, who are you, Jennifer? What do you do?
Yeah, thank you. So, who am I? Well, I'm a photographer and I specialize in interactive portrait photography. That is, in a nutshell, sort of working with people to get out what they want in a picture, and running along with the Diamond Project that really has to do with talking about empowerment, talking about what it's like to be a woman, how to support each other, and things like that. And in the photography, I find when you have that conversation with people, mostly women, and then people who support them, you get a really awesome portrait. And I think from maybe Tanya, you can attest to this, a really great experience and some
Yeah.
great photos to go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I am. I'd also like to call myself a community builder. And to go with the Diamond Project again, I've been really building a lot of experiences, a lot of photo shoots, listening to people, sort of have creating a tribe almost of amazing people that kind of agree with this sentiment that, you know, we should be supporting each other. We should be part of the community, and, you know, all that really good stuff. And I think now it kind of leads into me explaining exactly what the Diamond Project is.
Yes, please do, because I find you're this unique photographer, that you capture this essence of the woman, you capture her story. And it's almost like your photographs are telling a story, right? I mean, that's what drawings are often, but the fact that your photographs, they capture the story, and it's so amazing what you're doing. So yeah, please let us know about this passion that you have about the Diamond Project. What is it about?
It is, I think now it's been forming over the years. Like it kind of started off as I want to be a photographer now. And from my experience in nonprofit, I realized, like, you can't do things alone. You can't run a nonprofit by yourself. You need a team of volunteers. You need donors and stakeholders. You need all these people around you. And when I was, taking that leap to become a professional photographer, I was like, you know what? I can continue this community. I can keep doing this. I can bring people together and do something great. And it really came to supporting other women. And in the beginning, it was a mutual thing. I needed to practice, and I had a lot of people in my life that wouldn't mind a great picture. So, building from that, meeting women and doing these awesome photo shoots with them, it was like this snowball effect of mutual support where, I got to know someone and we did a great shoot, and then I learned, they're a small business owner, or they're a mother, or they're doing something, and I got to know them, and they turned around and said, how can I help you, because you helped me with these great photos. So, I kind of said, let's start this storytelling platform, let's connect people, let's keep doing this. So I mean, photography is a big part of the Diamond Project, but at its core, it is this community of people who agree we should be supporting each other and, you know, being cheerleaders for each other and just being there.
Hmm.
So that is a Diamond Project now.
Yeah.
Over 2 years of you know, mirroring it off people and talking and coffee date after coffee date and photo shoot. And you know, the photo shoot with you, Tanya, was especially interesting because, you know, you sat down with me and we had this conversation. I don't even remember what it was about. But it just
Yeah.
made me feel really great inside.
Yeah. And, I love, Jennifer, if I can, add to, I love the fact that, you just take a photograph and you don't edit it to make it perfect, right? I mean, everyone who's listening, when you go to my Instagram page, you go to the banner here on the YouTube channel, the photographs that you see there, you can see someone else has taken it, and those are all Jennifer's taken. And as you see, she brought that personality out, and she captures that in the lens. And it's like, I'm not going to hide. And Jennifer, you were very upfront. You said, Jennifer, you said, Tanya, just to let you know, I'm not going to edit the wrinkles and stuff. It's like, thank you. So, some photographers would, but we all have wrinkles, right? And those are part of life. And I love that you keep that true woman in your storytelling, in your photography, whether it's through the Diamond Project, whether it's, photographies that you're doing for their profiles or their business, weddings, whatnot, but you keep it real and really allow that person to shine through. Because I think when editing happens, you lose part of that personality. Like, how do you see it?
Oh wow, yeah. The editing side, I think some photographers don't like to spill their secrets. But I think for me, I mean, everyone has their own style. I will do editing if it is requested. I mean, it's up to you really.
Mhm.
But I prefer to show you off. If you go through my feed for the Diamond Project on Instagram or what have you, I haven't done any editing in terms of like alterations. I don't get rid of blemishes. I don't get rid of wrinkles. I actually have a particular fondness for wrinkles when it
Yeah,
comes to photography.
yeah.
And, you know, I just think it's more important that we can show off who we actually are. And you know, I have had people just tell me I'm not even going to wear makeup, and I think that's great. I think you can decide how you want to show yourself off to the world. And you know, if you want to work with a photographer, you can ask for those things. But I mean, I think the most important thing is that you feel comfortable, and you know, you are able to express who you are or what it is you want to portray to the world. And I feel like it's such a privilege to be able to do that for people, and you know, make them shine bright like diamonds.
And I love how you said, show off who you are, because so many times we don't want to show off who we are, right? And we want to hide. But the fact that, when you said, I want you to be comfortable, I mean, I felt very comfortable, in your presence, and allowing that to be comfortable who you are and to shine, like you said, like a diamond, I think is so, so important. So, so important. And you mentioned too, Jennifer, in talking that you have had some social events that you've done collaborations with and invited people in, invited women in. Will you be having more of those? Like, how does your passion come through in the Diamond Project and these other social events you do? And how does that passion allow you to continue to do this?
Ooh, well, I have done a few social events. You know, from the nonprofit background, I've done so many events, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's give this a try. See who shows up, see what happens. The first one was actually at the Marit Collective in downtown Kitchener. It was a portrait party, and it was sort of under the idea that we would talk about female empowerment and we would talk about accepting ourselves. It was in February, so I think there was like a new year, new you thing going on. That was so much fun. And then I did another one in July. And again, photos. This time it kind of exploded because I had a few other younger volunteers who wanted to come be photographers. We also had ice cream and cookie dough and all kinds of awesome stuff. And I think I think there were about 45 people that showed up for that event, and I
Nice.
was completely blown away. I was just, wow, people really want to come and talk about this, and they want to pay me for my photography. Like,
Yeah.
what is this thing that's happening? This is so
Honor
amazing.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So, and what keeps the last part of that about my passion, I think when I get feedback from people saying that, having this shoot with you made me realize that I am beautiful or I have value, or someone recently told me that after we did a shoot that they felt confident to reconnect with people they hadn't talked to in years. I don't know
Wow.
what happened with them and in that experience,
Yeah.
but I just felt so uplifted that I was
Yeah.
able to have an impact on someone in that positive way. So
Nice.
I think I would love to do more events in the future. I'd
Nice.
love to partner with other people, and just keep this going. I'm open to new ideas and new adventures also. So we'll see what happens.
It's a continuous journey of adventures, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah.
Now, even though I'll post it on the bottom, you'll see how to find Jennifer, all at the bottom. But can you let our listeners as well, please, Jennifer, know can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, so I think Instagram, I am a millennial. So for me, Instagram is where I put most of my time and effort. So you can find me at thediamondproject.ca. That's also my new website address. So I just launched a new site this week. I'm pretty excited about
Oh,
that. It actually kind of happened through a fluke. Someone started following me and I liked what they were doing. They were an illustrator and poetry person.
mm,
And I said, hey, I really like you. Do you want to go for coffee? And then that kind of turned into this girlfriend shoot with her and her friend.
yeah.
And then they both, from the portraits I took of them that they liked the most, they took them and illustrated them.
Mm,
And then that is now part of the artwork on the website.
nice.
So it was this amazing collaboration that happened, just sort of through an instant message through Instagram, that turned into this great thing. So please check it out. And I'm also looking to connect with more people. There's a form on my site you can fill out if you're interested in learning more. And yeah, you can follow along and you can even send me an email if you'd like.
Lovely. Thank you. Now, there's always, questions that I ask during every conversation. And before I do get to those questions, Jennifer, I really, I'm happy that you said I just, reached out and decided to make a connection, because as women, sometimes we're very afraid to just go ask, to reach out, to make that connection, where we hesitate. It's like, oh, what if they ignore me, or what if they don't like that I reached out, right? But the fact that you just went and did it, and it shows that, when we support each other as a community, which you so do all the time, it's amazing how these relationships can happen, how these connections can happen. And like you said, it's just something started blossoming, and now it's just moving forward. And if you look back, because I know you started the Diamond Project in 2017, and prior to that you were, I believe, in the corporate world. If you look back, I'm going to say 5 years ago, did you see yourself where you are now?
Oh, no. No, I didn't at
Yeah.
all. 5 years ago, what was I doing? Well, so you mentioned I was in the nonprofit world, not the
Okay.
corporate, which I
Okay.
think they're pretty different.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have seen myself as someone who can, I don't know, even with the networking thing, walking up to people in public, like I was just halfway through, being in nonprofit and managing and networking and doing all that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have seen myself at this point in this project with the connections that I've made. And then as a photographer, I mean, I've always been interested in it. And I had a website with my dad years ago, just like playing around with an old Nikon. I honestly, I would not have seen myself with the portfolio I have now. Yeah, I've really impressed myself over the last 5 years, and a
Nice.
lot has changed too. I'm in
Yeah.
my 30s, so there's lots of firsts,
Yeah.
lots of new things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great question, making me reflect.
Well, it's just to, it just came to me, and it's not a question I normally ask, but I thought it's important because, how we often see ourselves is totally different to where we end up going on our journey. So the fact is you've gone totally different from where you even imagined yourself. I mean, it's it sounds like it was always in there inside of you. Like you said, you loved doing the photography with your dad. It was kind of like a hobby, but it was always a part of you. And the
Yeah.
fact that you took what was a hobby before and made a passion out of it, you unlock this inner power in yourself, and you become like, wow, it doesn't feel like a job. It's just in pure enjoyment and pure bliss. And I with you doing that, I really feel that is your strong backbone, and that what carries you to keep on doing what you do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like
Yeah,
it's sort of like every time I would do a shoot, I couldn't wait to come home and edit the pictures.
yeah,
I would just put everything aside and I'd be like, no, I have to play with these pictures and edit
yeah,
them and like see what I did, and I
yeah,
was always so passionate about that.
yeah,
So it really, yeah, it really made me think like I should be doing this more
yeah.
often.
Nice. And you are, right? So, my favorite part of every conversation is the questions.
Okay,
Because it's always, we're learning a part of you that we haven't heard yet as we've had our conversation, prior to. So, we all have these quotes we absolutely love and we seem to live by. So, Jennifer, what is a quote that you love and tend to live by?
so I've never had this question before, and I had to actually think about it. And I'm gonna. It's a quote that I've edited slightly to fit in with what we're talking about, and it's
Yeah.
by Abraham Lincoln. The quote is, "I don't like that woman. I must get to know her better." And to
Nice.
me, that it means a lot to
Yeah.
me. And I feel like when I heard it, I was like, yeah, that really resonates with me because it really teaches you to have patience.
Mm,
And as someone who's part of a community, you have to remember that people say dumb crap all the time. People are tired. People are dehydrated,
yeah.
and there needs to be some forgiveness in the process of
Yeah.
collaborating and supporting and
Yeah.
working together. So I think for me, if you don't like someone, it's probably because you don't know them well enough.
Nice.
You
Nice.
haven't spent enough time with them
Yeah.
to get to know who they really are.
Yeah.
And I just think I live by that all the time. I hear something, something was said to me, something weird happens. I go, you know what? They're probably having an off day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them that.
Yeah. No, it's so true, right? Because I, often hear women struggle with, oh, my coworker blew up with me or my friend. And you know what? I turn around and I say, you know what? That's actually something you should honor because it has nothing to do with you. Chances are really good is they felt comfortable enough around you to be able to vent, and they didn't feel that they would be targeted or like they just came to you and you were there and they felt comfortable. So I say it's actually a positive thing, and you happen to be there. It has nothing to do with you. So I love, that's an interesting quote. And I'm going to turn around too, and I think it's almost like looking at yourself, right? It's like, oh, I don't like who I am right now. Well, then start loving yourself and start finding out
Yeah,
true self inside. So that can go, I think, really both ways, right? Finding
it
out who
can.
you are, loving who you are, and that person, that other person across the street, instead of comparing yourself, share the values you both have and come together.
Yep.
So, yeah, nice quotes. One I've not ever heard before, but it's a good one.
Thank you.
And what about advice? What's a piece of advice or number one advice, whether you've learned or you've heard, or you even go by that you can share with our listeners today, our audience?
Oh, this is gonna sound like cheesy and overdone, but honestly, my advice is that it gets better. It always gets better. And if you can try to find like one good thing, if you're having the crappiest day, you can like have that one good thing, and tomorrow will be better. That is my advice.
Oh my gosh, Jennifer, you know what I always end a day on, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it. It's so funny because every podcast I end it, every live that I do, every like YouTube, I always say, even in, when I meet people, as you lie in bed, think about the best thing that happened, because no matter how awful your day was, there's always one positive best thing that happened. So it's like, wow. Wonderful. Now, you cannot include your significant other, your husband, in this.
Okay.
But if it was a last day of your life, what's something you would be grateful for?
It was the last day of my life. I I would be grateful for this community of awesome people that just show up for me every single day. Yeah, if I couldn't say that to them, I would just quietly think it on my last day. If I knew it was my last day, I would probably take all those people out for like a delicious, fabulous meal to thank them. But we don't ever really know when we're gonna go, right?
No, exactly. Very, very true. Any last words?
Ooh, last words. Definitely a thank you, Tanya, for having me on. And anyone who enjoyed this conversation, keep following Tanya's awesome work, and check out the Diamond Project and see if there's maybe an event happening in your area. And I'd like to connect with you.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Do connect. And thank you very much, Jennifer, for your kind words. And I do say as well, please reach out to Jennifer. Any kind of questions you have, if you're looking for a photographer, if you want to learn more about her Diamond Project, it is here locally in Waterloo region, but who knows? You know what? This journey could lead you to a worldwide Diamond Project.
Ooh,
Never let it stop. Never let it stop you, right?
Never give up. Never give up. It gets better.
Exactly. So thank you everyone for tuning in and listening and watching another one of my mindful conversations. And I got to end it like I always do, going along with what Jennifer talked before. When you go to bed tonight, think about the best thing that happened, because we always have a wonderful thing that happened. And when you wake up in the morning, think about or write down 1 to 5 things that you are grateful for. This is Tanya Otterstein-Liehs saying, have a beautiful day. Love yourself, honor who you are, and feel blessed. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye-bye.